Let's move on to, as you call it, the dirty dozen when it comes to weight loss. What are they?
Those are basically 12 areas that we define as weight loss resistance areas.
Now this sums up your approach to weight loss.
This is our approach, yes.
Okay.
This, aside from creating the metabolic healing, these are the things that you have to think about all the time throughout the entire program to make sure that the person continues to heal and does not run up against a plateau.
Okay, what's number one?
Well, stress. Stress is really number one.
Stress can make you fat.
Stress is the number one thing that makes you fat, because when you are stressed, your body is not interested in building more muscle, building more lean tissue. And so when you run on stress hormones, whether you realize it or not, you are favoring storing fat.
Okay.
And that also includes pushing yourself beyond your energy level, which many people could relate to.
What's next?
Sleep is another common problem that people have in terms of healing their metabolism, because that's when you repair things. That's when you build lean body tissue. It's also when you rebalance your stress hormones. People that are not having a good night's sleep are not going to be in optimal health. It's going to create hormone problems.
But if they can't sleep, they can't sleep. Are you helping them with their sleep?
You bet. And what we're looking at is, why aren't they sleeping? Some people don't sleep because they have run on stress hormones all day. Some people don't sleep because they have sleep apnea secondary to being overweight. There's a whole range of things that can cause sleep disturbances. And if you don't have a decent night's sleep, you will never be able to heal your metabolism.
So you take care of that?
We do.
Nutrient deficiencies.
Yes,
that's number three.
This is a very interesting concept, because what it basically says is that people that are overweight or overfat are actually malnourished. So coming back to your earlier comment about most people are told eat less, exercise more, that couldn't be further from the truth, because one of the things that human beings do when they get rid of toxins is they normally send them to the liver, where they are promptly packaged by nutrients.
Right.
However, if you don't have everything you need on your little checklist of nutrition to get rid of your waste products of daily metabolism, the toxins you may have been exposed to in your environment, then your liver will make an executive decision for you and say, we're not getting rid of that. And often it then gets shipped off to a fat cell, where it will stay and it will live, and it will stay there until such time as you fix that nutritional problem. So many people that are carrying around many extra pounds of fat weight are also carrying around many extra pounds of toxins. And so to be able to eliminate those toxins from the body, they actually need a more intensive nutritional program than the average person.
You're giving supplements?
Yes, we use supplements to basically complement a healthy diet.
Okay.
And that's done on an individual basis. Everyone has a unique list of things that they need to complement their metabolism. So this is something that we work out on a person-by-person basis, and it involves everything from vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, essential fatty acids, specific protein additives, basically what they need, and it changes over time as their metabolism heals.
Well, here's the thing, though, about weight loss. Most people know what they have to do, but they don't do what they know. They can't follow a program because their cravings are out of control. So how do you address that?
Well, that's one of the dirty dozen. And cravings are often a way of your body simply saying, I'm lacking something. Your body can't say to you, I need some more tryptophan, which happens to be an amino acid. All it can say is, I'm hungry. It can't say to you, get me some more zinc. It just says, I'm hungry.
Are you saying that the root cause of cravings is a nutrient deficiency?
Well, it can be, but it's not that simple. Often it can also be a brain chemical imbalance, like, again, coming back to stress, people that are under stress day after day, week after week, often have imbalances in things like serotonin, dopamine, key brain chemicals that play a big role in your appetite.
Are cravings one of the things in your practice that are an easy one for you to take care of?
Yes, they are. In fact, they're almost fun to take care of because people generally respond pretty quickly. And there's also intestinal health to take into consideration. What I mean by that is that it's something that we don't talk a lot about in our society, but a quick trip to the grocery store will tell you how many people have intestinal problems, from the laxatives to the Zantac. I mean, it's usually a 30-foot section on the grocery store shelf. And the bottom line is that we don't have a deficiency of those things. There's something that's not working right.
Okay.
And that presents two huge problems when it comes to healing or creating health. One is that if you don't have good digestive, absorptive health in your intestines, then even if you eat perfectly and take all the right...
That can be making you fat.
It can be making you fat because
Okay.
you can be eating right but not absorbing the right stuff or at the right rate, or you might not be able to absorb all the supplements that you've just taken the time and energy to swallow and
So you
take
can
on
heal the
schedule.
intestine.
Yes.
Fairly easy?
Easy. It's not a simple process. Again, it's one of those individualized things. It's a lot like gardening, where let's say you're trying to grow flowers in your garden. The reason I use this analogy is because in the normal human intestine, we should have many, many good bacteria, the ones you hear about in yogurt, acidophilus, and we're talking trillions of these things. But many of us, most of us, have damaged these delicate little bugs through just living in America, and that's everything from taking antibiotics to food preservatives to what comes in tap water. So unfortunately, a common thing that happens is that the bacteria that is in our food, which is not an infection, it's just not the right bugs, moves in and replaces these friendly bacteria in your intestine. And so many people end up with a scenario of now several pounds, because that's what trillions of bacteria translate into,
Okay.
several pounds of not the right bacteria or fungus living in your intestine. And they basically get first crack at what you eat.
Well, how does somebody find out if they have an intestinal problem? I mean,
Well,
what testing are you doing for that?
Some people have symptoms. Some people come in with irritable bowel symptoms. That's a fixable problem. Some people come in with no symptoms. But by going through the detailed history that we talked about earlier, you can suspect often that perhaps all is not well down in their intestines. And to find out what exactly is going on in that person, there's two ways you can go about it. The commonest way is actually to do a stool test where you measure what exactly is growing there, what is the biochemistry, and that gives you probably the best roadmap of how to fix it.
Okay.
There are also some other tests you can do looking at urine tests that sort of measure footprints or chemical footprints that bad bacteria and intestine leave on your metabolism. So there's more than one way to go about it, but what's important is finding out what's unique to that person. It's not as simple as going into the health food store and buying a colon cleanse off the shelf, and in
Sure.
fact, for a lot of people that can be dangerous.
Now, for the sake of time, moving on to toxic chemicals. How could they make you fat?
Well, toxic chemicals such as artificial sweeteners, white flour, sugar.
Sugar is a toxic chemical.
Sugar is a toxic chemical because it creates stress chemistry in your body.
Okay.
And it imbalances your blood chemistry such that your body has to essentially imitate a fight or flight reaction. And the more you step on that adrenaline, cortisol pedal, if you want, the more you're going to be in that stress camp and you will not be able to heal. Other toxic chemicals that we look at range from alcohol to nicotine to caffeine, all of the artificial sweeteners.
Cold turkey in your practice?
Sometimes. It depends on the patient. What we don't want to do is create more stress in the transitions.
What's next?
Food allergies, which is another important area. Generally speaking, we do a blood test to look and see what someone might be allergic to, not so much in the hives and have to go to the emergency room sense, but in the delayed reaction that causes toxicity and stress chemicals.
Okay.
The other things that we always look at are thyroid problems, fat hormone imbalances, female sex hormone imbalances, as well as adrenal gland hormone. That's, again, the stress versus rebuild hormone balance.
Okay.
As well as what are they doing for exercise, which is often the wrong thing. So when someone comes to us for weight loss, we are trying to be the last thing that they will ever have to do to lose weight. In other words, to heal their metabolism, learn how to look after themselves so they can get to their ideal body composition and not have to deal with this over and over again.